are just going to settle on down into the town of Salacia on a beautiful, clear-skied late afternoon. Crowds of people in the frilliest goddamn clothes you've ever seen stroll leisurely along the stone streets. And we're going to go into an office where a person is. What is this office, and who is the person that resides here, and what do they do?
This is the office of Friday Love, a half-orc detective, and she is working on a case involving some stolen jewelry. The office is grubby, because of course it is. She doesn't have enough gold to hire a maid, after all. The office is dark, because, well, that's kind of the vibe she likes to go for. It's a thing with her. It's noir detective time.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're like outside and it's all like very, very colorful. And like I said, frilly and really Baroque and shit outside. And then as soon as we enter your door, it's suddenly a noir film.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you have this tall, gaunt man strolls into your door. You have not seen him before. You don't usually have a lot of repeat customers, I feel. So you haven't seen this man before. Tall, gaunt, human man, salt and pepper hair, really just kind of drab look to him, walks in. I'll ask you first, actually. When somebody walks straight into your office door, are they able to see where you are, or do you have to come out to greet them?
Yeah, there's a little bit of an antechamber that's right on the other side of the door. It's like a sofa and a coffee table and a couple of books on the table, and it's like real quiet, little dusty. And then on the other side of the room is another little door, and that leads into her office proper. She usually props the door open, though, so people can see that she's in residence.
All right, so this tall weirdo comes into your antechamber, looks around, and
Title
then,
of my sex tape.
And it is not, you're short.
He just goes to the couch and sits down and is kind of just twiddling his thumbs and looking serious and waiting.
Oh, that's new. Okay. Usually they come and knock on my door. All right. And so she, gets up out of her chair and circles around from behind her desk and pokes her head out the door. Can I help you?
Aha. Yes. And he stands up to his full intimidating length. Height. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, I mean, she's also very tall, so it's not that intimidating.
Okay.
Vertical length.
His vertical length. He straightens up and he looks at you with just these dead, tired eyes. It's Miss Love, is it?
Yeah.
May I come in? And he kind of points his hand towards the door you're peeking out of.
And she, gives him a little come on gesture and goes back into her office.
He strolls in.
She sits down behind her desk. She's got one of those, swivel chairs that's definitely seen better days. But the chair that her customers / clients sit in are, it's a nice chair, but it doesn't swivel.
So yeah, it's a nice chair. He kind of looks at it almost, actually, here, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
Okay. You can tell that he gives a slight disdainful look to your nice chair before he sits down in it.
How dare you? It's a nice chair.
He sits, and he's almost kind of sitting on the edge, almost looks like he's trying to get as little of his clothing touching this chair as possible.
Ugh, rude.
Leans forward, puts his hands directly on your desk, is kind of a little bit more of an intimidating presence than you're used to with customers. My name is Gavin Saltere. I've heard that you are the person to go to if you need somebody looked after.
I mean, yeah? What's keeping you from going to the guards if you need somebody looked after?
Well, nothing has happened yet. I need you to follow my wife.
Ah. All right. Is she unfaithful? Do you have a reason for this little tale?
I suspect that she might be. I cannot tell exactly what is going on with her. She goes out a lot. She's been very secretive, lately. I've been quite busy with my work as an exotic snake milk salesman and have been working abroad quite often. She's been so distant and aloof, and I don't think it's just because I'm gone all the time. It can't be that, but we've only been married for 3 years. We should still be crazy about each other, right?
I don't know. I mean, I was almost married for 3 years and nothing.
Oh?
But if you want me to follow her, my rates are 10 gold a day plus expenses. If I find something, it's all paid, and that's the end of it. If I find nothing, it's all paid, and you don't argue with me.
Oh, 10 gold a day. That's quite reasonable.
Plus expenses.
I'm fine with that. Plus expenses, yes, of course. I'm not going to argue. I would be happy to pay up front. I would like you to... I'm not going to say follow her until you find something, but follow her for at least maybe the next week while I'm in town, because I would like to know what she finds so interesting that she can't spend this time with me before I have to go out on my next big exotic snake milk sale.
And there's a moment where she just kind of like centers herself and doesn't sigh and doesn't groan, but is like,
Fucking exotic snake milk salesman? Fuck you, dude.
but that's internalized. That's entirely in her head. That is not even on her face, but it is in her head.
Roll stealth to see how straight you keep your face.
Stealth? Really? Okay.
That is a 12.
Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, we're just starting out, so we'll go easy.
He knows you're having thoughts.
I am definitely having thoughts. I mean, come on.
He knows you're having thoughts, but he's come here obviously because he has heard about you, and he knows that you're like a thinker and an investigator. So you see him giving you a look, like he's trying to figure you out, and he sees that you are giving him some kind of look, but he doesn't know what it is yet.
All right, 1 week of tailing, 70 gold up front. I'll bill you the expenses after.
Okay, yeah, that works for me. And he pulls out this like satchel from inside of his jacket and starts counting out some gold for you. He also pulls out this framed picture and slides it across the desk to you. Do a perception check.
That's an 8, not great.
Okay. You can tell that this is something expensive. He's not just handing you a slip of paper or something. Like, this is a framed, nearly hyper-realistic, custom artistic rendering of a woman. And he slides that over to you and just says, her name is Lucy Cristallini. She didn't want to take my last name, but that's another issue.
Lucy Cristallini. All right. Is she from a notable family? Is she independently wealthy?
Yes, actually, she herself invented wigs in this world.
Well, good for her.
Yes, they turned out to be quite popular. I have to admit I wasn't a believer in it at first, being the type of man who believes in steadfast and true industries like exotic snake milk. I didn't think that people would want fake hair, but apparently they do, and she's done quite well for herself.
All right. And you've been married for 3 years, you say?
That's right.
Where were you married?
Here in Cilicia.
Which church?
At which church?
Basically, she's trying to get him to admit that this is somebody he's stalking rather than his wife.
Okay. Yeah. So how to do this when I haven't come up with multiple church names? Okay. So I'm at name.my.church right now. Yet every time I click it, it's more words. I got 5 pieces of the deliverer of the Brook Gospel Church of Freedom.
Oh, here's a good one. Submerged church.
Oh, it says okay. I just got the celebration, but submerged church is Good. The celebration, I think, is the first one that doesn't have a bunch of like our world religious shit in it. So that celebration is definitely one prominent church in your city. But they got married at the submerged church. Submerged church is very good.
I'm so glad I opened that can of worms then.
That was a good little can of worms. There's all kinds of little guys wiggling in there. Okay. Yes, we were married at the submerged church.
Okay. And meanwhile, she's like taking notes like, okay, in the back of her head, like, okay, this is all public record. I can look it up. I can find out if this dude is legit. All right. Thank you for that. Do you have any children?
Oh, we do not. It was something that we connected on early on, was that we are both just much too busy for that sort of thing.
Okay. And she like pulls that picture a little closer and is studying it, and she's like, she's pretty.
Yeah, do perception on the picture itself again.
It's a 12.
So you're looking at this, and you feel like she definitely shouldn't be married to this dude.
Yeah.
If this picture truly captures her, then she has like this glow of intelligence and mischief that just does not seem compatible with the boring harshness of this guy.
So, where can I meet up with you after I've found out what I need to find out?
He tells you what his address is.
And she writes it down very carefully. Okay, so is his address in, like, the bougie part of town, or is it...
Yes.
Yeah, okay, figured.
It's in the bougie part of town, for sure. As I hope you will not be bothered by me coming in and checking up occasionally.
Of course not. Gotta get your money's worth. Just keep in mind my office hours end at 10 p.m.
That is fine with me. Do you work after 10, though?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's just when the office hours end. It's like when you go to college and the professor has certain hours that he's available to talk to you. That's how I roll.
That makes perfect sense to me. I don't have my doors open all the time for everybody who has many questions about exotic snake milks myself, so I get where you're coming from. It's just that she does... the thing that concerns me is she is sometimes out quite late, so I know that you can't be here and also following her at the same time, so...
I'm a professional.
Just wondering.
I'll take care of it.
I understand. I can respect a professional, being one myself.
She just kind of gives him like a
Is there an exotic snake milk union in this town?
Oh, we will find out. He just might be the president.
I don't feel like he's in a union, though. I feel like he's the kind of guy with a union busts.
He's gonna fill you in with whatever else he knows about just certain habits and schedule, and he just leaves this incredibly expensive portrait with you like it's absolutely nothing. He gets up, dusts off the front of his jacket, and straightens himself out, turns around, and leaves. But you immediately hear the door open again, and the rushing of feet as he runs back in, ducks his head into your office, and hisses under his breath, "She's out there now. She's out on the dock."
All right, just duck into the vestibule here. The antechamber.
Yes. So yeah, he dives for the couch and gets down really low. He is just shaking and like ducks down.
And meanwhile, FYI, the second he left, Friday pocketed that portrait in her jacket. Because I'm guessing it's like a 4x3 kind of size.
Yeah,
it's not a huge, like, gotta, lug it around the city kind of thing, right?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
So the second he left, she put that in her pocket, and then when he came back in, she didn't forget it was there, but it was obvious that it wasn't on her desk anymore. Mm-hmm. And so as soon as he's, like, hidden and down and shaking, she opens up her front door and walks toward the dock, looking for a face that matches the portrait she's been given.
Yeah, so, outside this door, basically there's a sharp hill going up from the dock, and your office is part of this warehouse that kind of overlooks the dock. So essentially, as soon as you go out the door, you can see down past a couple of rooftops, and you can see exactly where people are walking by to and from on the dock. And you see this Goliath woman with blue-black hair and a gold and white parasol that matches this elaborate flowing gold and white trimmed dress that she is wearing. And that is a match for the picture that you have.
Is she with anybody?
She's not. She is walking by herself and stands out pretty hard. She's walking down the dock, and she is walking up the ramp of a ship that just arrived this morning. It's about evening now. The sun was setting while you were talking to Gavin. It's still light enough out to see, but you can, she's like getting fainter, and it's harder to make out as she passes under the gas lamps lining the dock before she slips up the ramp of this boat. And it is this giant 3-masted ship, this cobalt blue, bright white, immaculately clean pleasure boat, or a fun ship. What are the
A cruise?
What are the boats? A cruise boat, cruise ship.
There we go.
Yeah, just real big, real fancy. It has this massive, elaborately carved figurehead of a mermaid with just this wild hair plastered against the bow behind her, and there's a lot of activity on the deck of the ship. It's all lit up, and there's a lot of people that are on this ship just socializing. That is the ship that you see her slip up. And this is not an unusual ship to be here. There's a few, nearby groups of islands and other continents nearby, and there are a few different pleasure boats and cruise ships that go between these areas and Salacia on these pretty frequent routes. So every once in a while you will have one of these just big fun ships in.
Okay, so I'm gonna, as stealthily as I can, make my way down to the gangway of this ship and look around for any possible employees or deckhands or sailors, just anybody who she can ask a question of.
Okay. So as you head down to the dock, we're going to cut over to inside of this ship really quick. There are several levels to this ship with just all kinds of different activity going on each level. There's dining, there's gambling, there's plays, there's a lot going on here. Essentially, this is a boat full of rich snobs having a good time. And it's not uncommon for people of importance from the towns that they visit to come on board and mingle during their stays. So it's not just people who have paid to be on this boat once they're docked there. It's, locals also. So where would we most likely be seeing our next character?
I think probably the level where there's poker and roulette and billiards and that sort of thing. That is where there is a very large blue drow, dressed very well, playing poker.
Okay. So you're there playing poker, and you have been rubbing elbows with literally basically the person sitting next to you, who is this large tortoiseshell tabaxi, dressed extravagantly in elaborately embroidered dark blue and gold clothing with multiple gaudy rings on every clawed finger. And obviously everybody who's there currently is there to gamble, but this is one of those people who loves to gamble. He is just having a good time, win, lose, whatever. And he's just a jovial, fancy boy sitting directly next to you. And this tabaxi sitting next to you, his name is Smooth River.
Nice.
Smooth River.
So that's mostly all you know about him so far, as you've been sitting next to him for several hands. He's just having a great time. He's drinking. His name is Smooth River, and he's got the tackiest rings you've ever seen. He's laughing at something that somebody across the table just said, and he kind of elbows you and cuts in underneath the conversations going on. How about you, young man? What's your name?
Dumas. Marmalade Dumas.
Marmalade Dumas. Oh, what a lovely name. I had a very good friend named Marmalade. Do you happen to have any connections with Tabaxi culture? Marmalade's a very popular name over there.
A good friend of the family, actually. In fact, he saved my mother's life.
Marmalade. marmalade baby hand saved your mother's life.
Baby hands? I'm not sure that, but
It seems like him. Marmalade Baby Hands is the type of person who would save the life of a mom. He loves moms, you know. What did he save your mom's life from?
a fire, actually. It was a terrible, terrible fire.
Oh, I do hate the fire. Goodness, wow, brave of him to go into a fire to save your mom.
Yes, fire. You know, fire is the curse of the Dumas family. In fact, that's what got both my parents in the end, was a fire.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. He puts a big paw on your shoulder and does a little biscuit kneading on your shoulder, comfortingly. Hey, here. He scoots some gold coins over to you, and he says, let me get your next hand for you. I got a feeling it's going to be a lucky one. And he winks at you.
That's so kind of you. You know, every interaction I've ever had with Tabaxi has just been wonderful. And smooth river, you say? What is the meaning there? I've always been fascinated, of course, considering Marmalade becoming my name. But Smooth River, I think, is quite charming. It's a shame that you didn't rescue my mother. I could have been Smooth Damas.
No. In Tabaxi culture, the more syllables you have in your name, the better. So Marmalade is definitely a higher status name.
Ah, it's fascinating.
And, go ahead and real quick, roll a d12. 8. Okay, so that is how much the hand cost, was 8 gold coins.
Okay.
Do a d6 now.
1.
All right, so you won that hand with 8 gold coins, and do a d4 now.
That's a 2.
2. Okay. All right, so whatever game it is that you're playing, you won 16 gold coins from the hand that he paid for you. So you got 16 gold coins from that. And he folds down his cards. He didn't win on his last hand, but he pats you on the back and says, I told you that was going to be a lucky one. Maybe not as lucky as I was hoping, but you did good. And he kind of gestures over towards there's like this back wall where there's a lot of people drinking at these various couches and little fancy tables and stuff, and I've had quite a few hands in a row. Why don't we go get a drink? Maybe talk a little bit more about names and such.
That would be lovely. I would enjoy that.
All right. Some Marmalade and Smooth. Gonna go get a little private booths along the wall, so you can still see basically all the tables, all the people gambling in the center here. But you're gonna be going over to the side wall and having a more private, less interrupted by gaming conversation. What do you talk to Smooth about next?
I'm going to try to get a sense of what sort of passions he has. Is he into books? Is he into art? Is he a big believer in the supernatural? That sort of person.
Okay, yeah. How do you ask about that last one?
I'm going to bring that up. Gonna use the parent thing. I'm so glad to have run into you today. I feel, perhaps guided by my parents to cross paths with you. It's very fortuitous. Then I just kind of give him a little smile. Perhaps that's silly. I know many people don't like to think of that sort of thing.
No. Are you a believer in the power of those who have passed on?
Oh, yes, very much so. That's what brought me here today.
Me too. How interesting. Not everybody knows. I mean, this is quite a large ship, quite a large population on it, but I hear mostly because I heard rumors that there were some representatives on board of, well, you know how difficult it can be to find people who are able to do real seances these days. It's become something of a parlor trick for a lot of people, I'm afraid, and not many people believe it in it anymore.
Really? That's what brought you. We really were meant to cross paths.
It does seem so, doesn't it? It's been strange to me. You know, somebody with the amount of wealth that I have, it has been so hard for me to really get what I'm looking for, which is a way to talk to my granddad about where he put the rest of our family's money. It's a simple question, really, and I don't need any people who are just putting on a show to try to put me in touch with him. I need the real deal. I need to make a connection there and get the majority of my finances in order so I can move forward with my investments. And
Of course. Actually, Smooth, I realize we've just met, but we are friends, yes?
he pats you on the back. Very hard, but very soft. Like it's a hearty pat, but it's with those big soft beans, you know? And I would say so, Marmalade. I would say so.
I do, in fact, have a contact, but I'm very, very hesitant to give this out because she sees so very few people. I'm sure that you can understand having a skill like this is very taxing to use. Speak to the other side, to pierce the veil between the living and the dead. There's very little that she can do beyond see a client or two a month, perhaps. It's so draining.
That makes sense to me.
And that's, in fact, how we became friends. She helped me to speak to my parents, and that was so gratifying. And I have done whatever I could since then to try and help her, you know. A little here and there, send some money, send some food. Try to ease her suffering in the living world until she also passes on and finds another to become a conduit through.
He puts a big furry paw on your hand. He's got like one of those kinds of paws it's got lots of hair tufts on the bottom. Real paw of a paw. Puts a big paw on your hand. That is exactly the type of person I've been looking for. I would pay any amount to see a real person like that. A real medium, a real conduit between the realms.
Smooth, I do believe that we were meant to cross paths today.
I do believe so. There is potentially a great amount of money in me getting into contact with my grandfather.
It would be my pleasure to connect you to somebody that can truly help you. Somebody that understands, as I do, what this could mean.
He leans back and he nods. He takes out he's got like a big long pipe inside his silk jacket that he takes out and gets out a little box of tobacco and starts setting himself up. You understand. It sounds like maybe you had more personal, meaningful reasons for talking to people, and I know this is just about money for me, but that is, I'm still in the land of the living, and so that's where my focus is at, and I would love to, I guess, help in some manner this person who could connect with my grandfather, though we don't have to tell her how much money is in it. But you, I would be happy to give you a finder's fee if it all works out.
Certainly. It would absolutely be my pleasure. And, you know, she's not one to concern herself with money. As long as she has a home and food, she's very content. She's much more, you know, the one foot over the veil sort of situation.
That is what I have been looking for. A real person who doesn't want all of my money.
You do have to watch out for that sort of thing. It is the trouble for those in our situation.
Hey, we're gonna fast travel back over to Friday. So you are at the ramp of this ship. Were you going straight on board? Were you trying to look for somebody outside?
No, I was looking for somebody outside.
Okay. Yeah. There's a line of people who are kind of trying to get on board to hang out. There's definitely kind of a bouncer situation of letting certain people on and some people trying to see if they could pay their way to come on board, to go gamble and mingle with people. It's a whole thing. But yeah, you see different runners for supplies and food going back and forth, and it's pretty easy. Like the people who work on board do wear like a uniform sort of situation.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna try to grab somebody who's looking kind of busy, like they're on their way somewhere, just so that way she's not like memorable.
Okay. Yeah, so you see somebody that's just perfectly middle of the road, just strolling, just little strut kind of head in the clouds. They're whistling, but still walking kind of briskly on their way to somewhere off of the boat.
And I'm just gonna real quietly pull him aside and be like, hey, how long is the boat gonna be at dock tonight?
Whoa. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Really? I just wanted to know how long the boat's gonna be at dock.
Okay. My name's Bryce, by the way.
Didn't ask. Don't
Might
care.
wanna remember it.
Didn't ask.
Weeks.
Don't care. How long is the boat at dock tonight?
I mean, it really depends on. They're saying they're gonna leave in like another day, but you know how it is. Sometimes if the people who are like actually in charge want to hang around any longer, but I don't know how long they're gonna want to stay in Salacia. This isn't the most fun place on our circuit.
Thanks. And she like tips him a little salute and walks away.
Hey, you never told me your name.
That was on purpose.
She just like turns around and finger guns at him like
Exactly.
He views that as playful and finger guns back at you. Like, all right, I'll see you around.
they're really only 3 feet apart at this point. But it's doing the calling thing.
I might only be here for one more night.
Good.
I only have so much time to get on the Bryce train.
No. I don't want to be on the Bryce train ever.
The Bryce train's gonna be pulling out of the station
Bye.
soon.
And she just starts hiking herself back up the hill to her office. Like, oh my god, why?
Are you going back to your office?
Yep.
Okay. And what are you doing there?
I'm gonna find Gavin and be like, okay, so she's on a boat. And it's one of those pleasure cruise boats, and it's probably going to be there overnight, and I don't have an invitation, so there's your first clue. She's off gambling, my dude.
The pleasure boat.
Yep.
But there's a number of things to do on one of those. It doesn't necessarily have to be gambling.
Pretty obvious that that's one of the draws, though.
She has so much money. Why would she want to gamble?
Because she likes it.
What if she's trying to find somebody who is richer than I am?
Well, if that's the case, I mean... And she, like, opens up the door and points down the docks to this giant-ass boat and goes, you're richer than I am. You probably have a better shot of getting on that boat than I do.
Oh, okay. If I find a way to get you onto the boat, would you follow her around on the boat?
Of course.
All right. Okay.
That's the plus expenses part of my fee.
Exactly. Oh, okay. It all makes sense now. I thought maybe you were talking about eating a sandwich or something, but no, it makes sense. I understand. I also incur expenses while I'm doing my sales.
Snake milk, got it.
Snake milk ain't cheap. Okay. All right. Well, he kind of looks at you. What are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing a pair of... They're jeans, basically. She's wearing jeans, but we don't call them jeans in this world. They're fantasy jeans.
Fantasy jeans. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like linen trousers that are really sturdy, and a white button-up shirt with a long leather duster jacket, and her fedora.
Okay.
Don't worry. I have a dress. It's fine. I can look the part.
Is it a good dress?
Excuse me, how dare you?
I'm so sorry. He does a little collar pull. And
This isn't my first time going undercover, let's just put it that way.
Have you gone undercover on one of the pleasure boats before?
That would be a no.
Okay, here. He gets a little like notebook out of one of his pockets and starts writing some information down on a little piece of paper. A few buildings down, is my personal tailor. They should have some dresses already put together. Obviously, we don't have time to tailor you something, but I'm sure she would have something ready. And here, and he just like pulls out that satchel of coins again and just kind of like dumps some out on the little table in the waiting room. And it's just, whatever it costs to just let her know that where you're trying to go. I'm sure she will know exactly what you need that would be sufficient to get on board, and then keep whatever else you need if you need to. I won't say bribe is such a coarse word, but whatever you need whatever the price of admission to get on board is, you take that out of there, and I trust that we're both business people. We understand each other. If there's anything left over, you'll just give it back to me, right? If anything costs more, you will charge me.
Listen. I'm a professional. I don't rob people. Not even rich people.
I would not say that you would.
I don't do that.
I am empty.
Calm down.
This is my bag of gold in front of you.
Listen, Gavin.
We know where she is right now, and
we do know where she is right now, and I'm not going to lose her. But you babbling on like this ain't saving us any seconds. I got this.
Okay.
Go home. I'll be in touch.
I will go home. Here's my goal. Do what you need to do, and let me know as soon as you can. And if this is resolved tonight, please feel free to keep the wages for the week. It is well worth my mind being put at ease.
Still babbling.
Yes.
Not wasting seconds. Babble. Gotta go.
Okay. All right. Here you go. He just pushes his gold towards you and kind of like does like a very awkward half bow, half little hand wave thing, and then puts both of his hands up in frustration and just like walks out.
All right. Now, the second that Friday is alone and she's positive he's left for good, she wants to open up the back of that little frame of the picture that he's given her just to see if there's anything inscribed on the back of the picture. Or hidden in the frame.
Ooh. I feel like that's a really inspired move, so I want you to take a point of inspiration and don't forget to use it at some point.
Thank you. I won't. I just clicked a little button and now I have a little sunshiny thing in my inspiration box. It's so lovely.
Beautiful. Hell yeah. So when you take it out, you do see on the back that there is a little note that just says, "With love, your dear Gimbal Snert."
Okay. Gimbal Snert, huh?
Yep. GIMBALLSNURT.
I'm assuming he's the guy who painted the picture.
Only time will tell.
That's right.
What you find.
We will one day know, hopefully.
Okay, so
Okay.
With love, Gimbal Snert. Got it. But there's nothing else hidden in there. There's not like a secret note folded up in little quarters that says, "Help, I'm being repressed."
No, there was just that note and
Help, I'm trapped in a frame factory.
Yeah, something like that. Anything. Just Gimbal Snert. Got it.
There's Gimbal Snert and a point of inspiration hidden in there, and that's all.
Okay. Well then, I guess I'm off to go buy a dress that our good friend Gavin finds appropriate to be on this pleasure boat.
Yeah. And as much as I would
I still think my dress would be fine, but oh yeah, no. No. I'm not opening the door for you to invite in another OC that's going to be weird at Friday. I'm not opening that door. We're just going to go get the dress.
Okay.
But it would give Rowan the opportunity to ask, "What's your dress situation?"
Yeah. But I mean, so you go there, you get out, you buy whatever dress you need to buy, and when you do and you put it on, what is your dress situation?
Okay, there it is. So she's seen the people that were, lingering on the deck, and she's seen all these like frilly, swishy, fluffy dresses. So Friday has joined the crowd. She's wearing a peach tulle number. It looks almost like it would be a prom dress in another situation, but it has way too much lace on it for it to be a prom dress. And she even got a little matching parasol, and it's festooned with little pink ribbons. She looks very, very girly. And she's like, why is this my life?
Do you have like little half gloves also?
Yep. Little half gloves of lace and a little matching parasol and a ribbon in her hair and the whole shebang. She looks like a giant peach frappe.
Amazing. Giant peach frappe with a green center.
Yep. That's why she picked peach. Is peach and green looks good together, you know? It's
yeah, I can see it. In addition to this note that he wrote for the tailor, he also wrote a note for you as a stand-in for him, basically, as one of the prominent sales representatives of the city, being one of the only main sales representatives of exotic snake milk. He basically like wrote you a little thing that he's sending you in his stead just to get you on the boat.
right.
So, you've got whatever gold you need. You've got your dress. You've got a note you can pass on up there. Are you doing anything else before you try to get it back onto the boat?
I'm real quick running back to my office and grabbing my daggers, just in case. Because, been on jobs before where things have gone bad, so I want to be armed. So she's got, like, this enormous dress. It's easy to hide the daggers.
yeah, you're getting your big frilly peach dress and you're getting a bunch of daggers. How many daggers do you get?
2. The normal number of daggers that people have.
I don't fucking know.
I mean, I've got one hand, I've got 2 hands. That's really all the daggers I can use. I'm not putting daggers on my
daggers.
feet.
It could be a little stack of 20 throwing daggers.
No.
Exactly. You can have one for your mouth. You could be one of those people who practices picking stuff up with their toes.
No. That's a good way to end up with a permanent smile. We're not going there. No. One hand, one dagger. It's fine.
Okay.
This is Friday's Joker origin story.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah. So you stroll on up. You hide your daggers. You stroll on up there. Get to the bouncer. It's just hefty Loxodon is the bouncer for this ship, and kind of does the same thing. Loxodon.
Wait. What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm googling some shit. Hold on. Oh, he's an elephant guy.
He's an elephant man.
Fuck yeah. Oh, fuck, that's awesome. I want to play one of those now. Can I re-roll Friday to be one of those? Shit, that's rad.
Yeah, Loxodon bodyguard. He, as you kind of just start trying to walk up, does like a hand out to stop you, except he does it with his snout. He puts his snoot up to you and goes, "Halt! What business do you have?"
And I hand over the note using like 2 little finger. It's pinched in between my forefinger and middle finger, like a lady.
Oh.
I'm here on behalf of Gavin Salteri.
Okay. He roll a deception.
Oh God! Of course, that's the one where I've got a +0. Fuck. Well, that's an 18. So boom.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, he looks at this note and he looks at you and he's like, yeah, but what are you actually here for? I know nobody's actually here for business. I just need to know you're not going to be starting any trouble or anything.
If you really must know, I just have a thing for boats.
You have a what?
A thing for boats.
Really?
It's a problem.
His eyes get huge. He leans in and he has your note at the end of his nose, his little trunk, and he like lowers it down so that he can like lean it closer, and his eyes are big, and he goes, "Me too. That's why I'm the son of a wealthy tradesman, but I'm here as a guard for a boat just because I love boats. They're so cool.
They're so cool.
They're so cool. I mean, look at it." And he like turns around and puts both hands out and is just like, oh.
And she like clasps her hands underneath her chin like a Disney princess, and it's like,
And his pupils turn into hearts. So what's your name?
It's Friday.
Friday. That's such a beautiful name.
Aren't you a sweet? But I just got finished telling you that I have a thing for boats. So unless you're a boat... Mm-hmm.
He does a little like fist ball like against his chest twice, like I get you. Like, I respect that.
Thank you. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
He does a little bow and hand wave and like steps aside and lets you board. So, good luck, my lady.
Thank you. What's your name?
Me?
Yeah.
You care about my name, but I'm not a boat.
I still care about people.
Well, my name, that's an interesting story.
Okay. She just turns and walks up the gangplank. She's trying to be nice, but no. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, sweet elephant man NPC who loves boats. Goodbye.
He waves to you dreamily as you walk away. So yeah, you're up on the deck of the boat. There's a lot of activity up here. There's these little like magically floating lamps. It's almost prom-like on the main deck. Like there's this table with a punch bowl and stuff, and everything's lit up and just very like pretty. And a lot of people are standing around and pointing out the different buildings and areas that you can see from here.
I'm going to go over and pour myself a cup of punch, but I'm not going to drink it. I'm just going to hold it in my hand so it looks like I'm belonging.
Okay. You are belonging.
Belonging.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start, I don't see Lucy anywhere, right?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to start making my way down to the next deck to see what I can find and see if she's down there.
Okay. So you're going to make your way down. Then this next level is where like the card rooms and the gambling tables are. And it's basically people who are getting a breather from drinking and gambling are just going directly upstairs. That next level down there is where people are doing a lot of their gaming. This is a very energetic, intense level. It's very smoky in here. A lot of people are like smoking pipes and cigars. What in particular are you looking for aside from just trying to find like the person?
Just looking around to see what the vibe of the room is. Is it like tense? Is it jovial? Is it like, oh, everybody's here just having a good time. We're all friends. It's all good. Or is there like something else going on that might be notable?
It's do an insight, like a vibe check.
Insight. Vibe check time. There we go. Oh shit, that's a nat 1. I don't want to use my point of inspiration too soon, but I might have to.
It is basically chaos down here. Like you get the vibe that the deck is where people are taking a breather from the chaos of this room. That is pretty evident no matter what your perception level is, but like you're not able to hone in on anything specific here because there is just a lot going on. It is overwhelming to the senses and there is so much smoke in the air. So that's what you get when you go down here.
Okay, so I'm gonna just like start moving my way through the room, trying to look as ladylike as possible, which, to be fair, isn't much. And just looking for Lucy now.
Okay.
If I can spot her amongst the tables, or if maybe I need to go down another deck.
All right, and we're going to go back to Marmalade and Smooth. Mm-hmm. How's your conversation been going since we last left you? Where have you been? Where are you at?
I have been letting him know that I will get in touch with my contact and arrange something for him and getting his information so that I can let him know when I've made that happen.
Since you have this contact, do you know who it might have been on board here that was supposed to have some otherworldly connections? Maybe you might have recognized them or seen them then if you have these connections yourself.
I truly do not. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here, Smooth.
He purrs loudly, gets real close.
a lot of those people are not necessarily the most trustworthy, especially coming to a place like this with that intention and making that known. In my experience, the people who have the skill don't need to advertise it.
I agree with that. That is what I have found myself.
And he's like mid-sentence and he kind of looks to the side and he's looking away from you and looking at somebody who is passing by. Two people who are passing by, actually. And one of them is quite different looking from most people on board. They are wearing very plain, dark gray robes, and they are being followed closely by somebody in a very elaborate dress, a very tall, imposing figure in a very beautiful dress. And this is a Goliath in white and gold, following this gray hooded figure who has a golden emblem imprinted on the front of their gray robe. And they just sort of are zipping through this crowd and going towards the back of this gambling area, towards the entrance that would basically take them down another level. And he, Smooth's ears go up as he tracks them across the room, and you only notice them even because of Smooth's attention on them. And then his ears flatten and he turns back to you as soon as they go through this door in the back, and he says,
Marmalade, I think that was one of them. Did you see the robe?
So do I recognize this robe and emblem?
You do not. This is not something that you have seen before.
Okay.
That was strange, wasn't it? Did you see that as well?
Yes, that was strange.
I think that might be...
He like looks back to where they just went and he turns back to you and he puts a big paw over your hand again and he says,
I want to follow up with your connection. I believe in what you are telling me, but I'm very curious and I want to know what that is all about also. Just in case, just to cover my bases, you understand, right?
Of course, I'm quite interested myself.
Okay.
Curiosity killed the cat. Womp womp.
And as it turns out, in fact, the name of this boat is the Curiosity.
Uh-oh.
So he gets up and waves to you to come along with him. We're gonna zip back to Friday. Friday, you see from a completely different angle across a completely different part of the room this same thing, except you are seeing the strange gray-robed figure along with a person that you recognize. It is Lucy zipping through this room.
I'm gonna follow as closely as I can, but not too close. Just making my way toward the back of the room in that general area.
So you got eyes on her. You are walking. Give me a dexterity save.
Dex save, that would be a 14.
Okay. And let me do an opposing dex save to see what this... Okay.
What'd you get?
So, 3. So you start making your way pretty okay through this crowd. It's not perfect because you are in this bulky dress, but you're making your way fine. But then you, basically unstoppable force, hits this immovable object that stumbles in front of you that is about less than half your height. Let me see. About half your height. You just run full into this figure that kind of stumbles out in front of you, and you hear this oof as you step on somebody's foot.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's their fault.
Are you all right? And she's like looking down at this little person and then like looking back over to where she sees Lucy and then back down like, get out of my way. Are you okay? I gotta go.
So you look down, there's this angry face looking up at you with a this little figure holding what was a plate full of food, but now half of that food is on the floor. And this face looking up at you, you can barely kind of see through the just like haze of smoke. And you hear this voice go,
Hey, what do you think the big idea is, lady? Wait, hold on. Friday?
Boo?
Ugh.
you see that same like collar pull thing. This Gavin did to you earlier.
What the hell are you doing here, Boo?
He like drops down and starts putting the rolls and stuff back onto this plate. And so yeah, you see this kid who is wearing a shabby sort of tuxedo that looks like it's been put together from several different tuxedos made for children. And this really just hastily combed hair and a face that is more devoid of dirt than you have ever seen before. And he stands back up with this plate of food that he has mostly picked up off the floor. And he looks you up and down.
This is a weird look for you.
I'm on a job, kid.
Okay. Okay, well, me too.
Oh my god. I have never seen your face this clean. What the hell? Did you actually take a bath?
I did what I had to do. You know what kind of food they got on ships like this?
Oh my god. Boo.
What? You gonna deny me, a poor little urchin, a good meal just because
And she's like rubbing her forehead with her forefinger like, oh my
you
god.
think I don't belong in a place like this?
No, you belong here just as much as I belong here, kid.
You're just like everybody else. You think I don't deserve a warm meal just because I'm a little urchin boy?
Oh, fuck. Boo. Go eat. I'm on a job. Get out of the way. I'll catch up with you later if you're not tossed overboard.
He scrunches up his face at you and takes an angry bite out of a roll while he scrunches his face at you and does a really exaggerated chewing. He's like,
Yeah, maybe I will. I don't care if they throw me overboard as long as I get what I want first.
and he kind of straightens up.
Yeah.
And you hear some jingling as he straightens up.
And she just gives him this look like,
Oh, hell.
This coat that he's wearing is definitely heavy with something.
I don't want to know about it. Just don't spend it all in one place,
No, I
okay?
wasn't gonna tell you about it.
I don't want to know about
Okay,
it.
wasn't gonna tell you about it.
I'm good.
Okay, good.
Don't.
I won't.
Go eat.
I will. Goodbye.
Yeah, okay. Ugh.
and she like huffs off after Lucy. Now she's got, in the back of her head, she knows her kid is on this boat too, and it pisses her off.
He skitters away safely under the cloud of smoke. This kid's not getting lung cancer. And
Oh my god.
makes his way to...
Please don't give my boy lung
No,
cancer even for
He's
pretend.
too short. That's how it works.
Uh-huh. Sure.
If you're under 4 feet, you can't get lung cancer because the smoke doesn't go that low. That's what I learned when I was being babysat by a chain smoker. Dark times.
Dark.
This is why I have asthma. Okay, so he scurries off to the next buffet table. And you are able to just barely see this magnificent vision of a Goliath go down the stairs to the 3rd level of the ship before disappearing completely. And I assume you follow.
Yep.
Okay. Meanwhile, Marmalade and Smooth. Marmalade and Smooth are also following. And this next level is much more quiet. And this is, I am deciding right now, the words that are coming to me are beanbags and tobacco tasting room.
Okay.
This is just lounging. This is just big, comfortable pillows and blankets and like cuddle piles and casual smoking and drinking.
And see, you say that, and I feel like there's hookahs.
Yes. This is the hookah level. Low to the ground seating, weird peach flavored smokes, and very, very dark down here. Esoteric music videos playing on a wall projected by a fairy, and Yeah, it's just really chill, calm down here. The far corners are very, very dark. There's kind of an illuminated center, and everybody is on the outskirts of this, and the farther corners are very dark. And by the time you get down here, you're not actually seeing the people that you came down here to look for. So what are you and Smooth doing, Marmalade?
I just nod towards the edge of the room, like, let's do a perimeter.
Okay. All right, so like a couple of narcs, you start doing a perimeter of the room.
Totally.
Meanwhile, Friday, you stroll on down here. What is your approach?
Well, it seems like it's much less smoky, so I'm probably gonna have a better time finding a fucking Goliath. So I'm gonna basically circle the room as well.
Okay. Also, just remember that everybody, I think, has fucking dark vision. I'm sure, including Tabaxi's probably also have dark vision.
Yep.
So,
Yup.
fuck my atmosphere. Fuck everything. So, about the same time, you came down here at different, basically 15 seconds apart, but like enough that you weren't on the staircases at the same time together. And you're both kind of fixated on this other person. So you're not really like seeing each other, but you are at the same time seeing in a far corner the person that you are looking for. I mean, for Marmalade and Smooth, that is this robed figure. For Friday, that is the Goliath in the fancy dress with the robed figure. But they are off in a far corner, kind of talking quietly to each other. They have sat down on some fucking beanbags corners, tie-dye beanbags in a far corner. Yeah, what is everybody's approach?
I want to try to get close enough to hear, but not close enough that they'll notice me.
So, like, everybody down here is sitting down and relaxing. So, moving across the room, no matter what, is going to draw attention. If you are not going to an empty seat to sit down, moving with purpose towards a specific point is going to seem, I can tell you that without any roll, it's that sort of environment, like, where you feel that as soon as you're there, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that tracks. Well, I did say that I was gonna tail her. I didn't say that I was gonna figure out why she's doing what she's doing, just what she's doing. So, yeah, I'm gonna find the nearest empty seat and just kind of keep a chill eye out.
Okay,
Yeah.
So where they're sitting is picturing this, so please, disabuse me of my notions if they're incorrect. But I'm picturing like they're at a hookah and like they have taken two of the seats around it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which are tie-dye beanbags.
Of course.
Yes.
So I'm going to kind of like tug on Smooth's elbow a little bit in a, follow me sort of a way and just walk up like I completely belong there and take two seats near them. Excuse me. We were told this one had the maple pecan flavor. Do you know?
So they both look up at you. The one in the robe is kind of looking up underneath this hood. You can't really make out much more than the bottom half of their face. The Goliath in the fancy dress looks at you with this irritated look. Roll a deception, Marmalade.
Okay. And that is a 12.
Okay, so she looks you up and down. No, that's not what we were going... We haven't ordered anything yet, so we don't have a flavor here. But, and then she raises an eyebrow and gives you a totally different look. If you want to sit down, though, you can. And she kind of pats the tie-dye beanbag next to her.
So I give her a big smile and sit down.
Okay.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
She looks at you out of the corner of her eye and kind of straightens up a little bit. And so, are you from Lustrum? Or are you here, Salacia?
No, I'm from Salacia.
Oh, I haven't seen you around before. You must not be from my neighborhood.
I look at her outfit and then kind of look at mine and I don't know. It seems we should have crossed paths.
It really seems like we should have. She's giving you this look under her eyelashes. And Friday, what are you doing?
Well, I just saw those two guys sit down next to her, so I'm kind of like, okay, who are these two mofos?
Okay, Say if you want to roll anything or just go over there.
I'm gonna do an investigation check. I want to see if I recognize either of those two
Okay.
mofos. That's a 17?
Okay, so you would notice specifically this tabaxi has a few different style choices that are specifically not from here. So you're pretty sure that he is one of the passengers of the boat. Marmalade, though, you live here in Salacia. You know what things are like. You maybe have not noticed specifically this person, but you are sure that Marmalade is local, while the tabaxi here is not.
Interesting.
Was there anything else specific? Since you did investigate, you're looking for something specific. Was there anything else specific you wanted?
Just if I can tell that Marmalade is a local, then is this somebody I've seen around town before?
So that's gonna be up to y'all's. Have you?
I feel like no, with the caveat of you know that there is at least a small population of drow of his general description.
Got it.
So yeah, so you're not surprised by him at all, but you are sure that he is a local, but you're not like, it's not surprising for you to maybe not recognize him.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna get up and go over there too, I suppose.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
You watch this whole interaction happen. Like, I will also give you that with that investigation roll, is that you watch this happen. You can tell that they did not know these people before sitting down with them.
Okay, then I'm gonna stay put and I'm gonna stay put and keep watching then.
And yeah, we'll go back over to Marmalade and Smooth, and Smooth seems pretty nervous. He was real gung-ho to get over here, but now he doesn't really seem to know what to do or to say. This woman here seems pretty taken with you immediately, Marmalade. The hooded figure has remained completely quiet so far. So what are you doing?
So what brings you to this little floating party tonight?
Well, that's an interesting question. I'm imagining, okay, you can correct me if you're wrong, but I'm imagining like a strip of embroidery on this whatever jacket you're wearing, and she's walking her fingers up that specifically.
Yeah, I think he's wearing an embroidered velvet coat.
Beautiful,
And one of his many layers of completely over the top clothing.
And she's doing what fancy flirty people do, and just walking her fingers up that. She's I am here looking for something, as I imagine a lot of people are. You know how it is when ships come here with opportunities. What about you?
No, just looking for a bit of fun and a bit of cards. What is it that you're looking for? I'd certainly like to help you find it.
Well, she bites her lip, but then she looks over to this ominous hooded figure, and she says, I've had enough drinks that I can talk honestly to a new friend. And she looks pointedly at you, Marmalade. I'm trying to talk to my dead husband.
You don't say.
I do.
Well, my condolences, my dear.
Should we wrap up here?
Yeah.
Cool.